Right on.
Wow. My name is Ed. Huh?
Hello.
My name is Ed.
My name is Ed.
Can anyone see me?
No.
No, you're not.
I can see you. Who's?
Wait, who?
Is that a lucky start?
I'm right here.
No.
Who is
Okay,
talking?
here we are.
We don't know who that is. No, we don't know who that is.
Sorry.
Ed.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm just tweeting.
Tweet it. Tweet away.
Tweet.
Retweet.
Hi, Tom. Okay.
Oh, Tara. Oh, that's Tara.
We are.
Okay, I never would have guessed.
Wow, 147 people already.
Oh my God, I kind of-
Woo!
Wow. Okay, we have an audience.
All right. Okay, so
Right.
it is tweeted.
This is too fun.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you all for being here and being so wonderful and lovely. This is so fun and silly and just a fun thing we wanted to do for Halloween because this year sucks. So, yay.
Sure.
Hi.
I'm going to change your name for you.
We're so excited to have you all here. Thank you for joining us. And I think most of us have it in our names, but let's just go around and introduce ourselves and who we're playing. Starting with you, Sean.
Hi, my name's Sean Prasad, and I'm playing Oscar Wilde.
Oh, hi, my name is Mary Kate Wiles, and I'm reading Lenore. Let's have Sinead and Sarah.
I'm Sinead, and I'm reading Mary Shelley and Krishanti.
And I'm Sarah, and I'm reading Annabelle Lee.
Woo. Ryan.
I'm Ryan Garcia, and I'm reading Fyodor Dostoevsky and Guy de Vere.
Wonderful. Tara Perry.
Hi, I'm Tara Perry, and I'm reading George Eliot and also Constable Jimmy.
Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley Clements, and I'll be reading Emily Dickinson and later Jane Austen.
All right, well, while we wait for Ashley to say something.
Yeah.
It begins.
Oh my God.
Christopher Higgins.
Hi, I'm Christopher Higgins, and I am reading Eddie and Constable Jim.
Yay. Not Constables Jim and Jimmy as he thought until about half an hour ago.
I had glasses and hats ready, and I was practicing the switches. I don't know where I got that idea.
We can make
No.
that happen.
We
No,
would
no,
not
no,
do
no,
that
no.
to you.
So I just read the Eddie part real quick. I'm ready.
Wonderful. Whitney.
Hi, I'm Whitney Avalon, and I am reading Louisa May Alcott and Anne Bronte.
Ooh. And how about you, Dylan?
What's up, guys? I'm Dylan. I'm reading Wells.
Yes, you are. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for
how
having
about
me.
you, Blake Silver?
I am proud to be reading Mr. Edgar Allan Poe and All the Ravens.
Everyone. Wonderful. Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom DeTrinis, and I'm reading Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Julia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
I'm playing Charlotte Bronte.
Wonderful.
Bronte.
Yeah, I got it.
Bronte.
It's actually Bront.
Bront. Charlotte Bront.
Charlotte Bront.
Wonderful. And last but not least, dear Al Falick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Al, and I'll be reading America's favorite author, God.
Did he write this?
Who keeps speaking?
Well, thank you everybody so much for joining us, especially, like I said, those of you who were not part of the original Pope Party cast. We're so excited to have you. This is so fun. All of these roles were voted on by our Shipwrecked patrons. So you can blame them for the roles that you are reading. No, our patrons are so wonderful, and I'm going to put the link in the chat or in the description in case somebody watching is not one of our patrons and wants to join us there. We're going to be doing a Halloween Zoom haunted house next week on Halloween, just for Patreon. Joe Stribling is going to be doing magic tricks. Sinead is going to be reading tarot. We're going to have a costume contest. It's going to be so fun. So join us there if you want to take part in that.
Yay.
Yeah. Otherwise, shall we?
Let's
do it.
Let's do it. I can't wait to read the script for the first time. All right.
Edgar Allan Poe's Murder Mystery Dinner Party, written by the Prasads. Interior dining room, night. A match is struck and a candle is lit. A grandfather clock loudly announces the hour, 6 o'clock. Interior kitchen, night. A knife is held ominously in the air. It plummets down and begins chopping onions. An oven is opened, a pot roast removed. A comb brushes through a mustache. Name tags are placed on the table. Dining room. Edgar Allan Poe and Lenore sit on opposite ends of the table. Poe twiddles his thumbs. Crickets chirp. Lenore drops a shot in a goblet and chugs.
Are you sure you sent all the invitations?
Yes.
And what about the singing telegram to the beautiful Annabelle Lee?
Yes.
And the RSVP to her RSVP?
He said she'd be here.
What is that rapping at my chamber door?
Okay, first, not a rapping. That's a doorbell. Second, you invited these people here.
Poe opens the door. Lenore stands behind him. In the doorway stands Ernest Hemingway, a charming and debonair Ron Swanson wearing 3 sweaters.
Welcome, friend, to Edgar Allan Poe's murder mystery invite-only casual dinner party gala/gala for friends potluck. Lenore will take your coat and your dish.
Hemingway throws his coat at Lenore and brandishes a knife. The coat passes through her.
Got yourself a ghost infestation, I see. Look, I brought a pocket knife to wear to spear wild game in the backyard. We can roast over an open flame.
Off Poe's reaction, the doorbell rings. Another arrival. Louisa May Alcott, twigs in her hair.
Louisa May Alcott, happy to see the stink of Boston hasn't followed you here. Now, what dish did you bring?
Alcott.
You'll find. Go ahead.
Oh, Alcott offers up 2 handfuls of twigs and enters.
You'll find you can eat anything if you're hungry enough.
Boston.
Ding dong. A pale and stone-faced Mary Shelley arrives.
Mary Shelley, as I live and breathe, because of your...
Yes, I get it. I brought this loaf of bread. I forgot the yeast, so it hasn't risen. Because of my...
Yeah, yes, I get it.
All right.
Ding dong.
Ah, Miss Bronte, here is your character card for the evening.
Poe hands over a card. Charlotte Bronte, over it, stands in the doorframe reading the card while holding wine.
She sounds poor. Did you come up with this? Is this going to take very long?
Ding dong.
Oscar, so glad you could come. You're looking very smart.
Oscar Wilde, quite the dandy, leans against the doorframe.
You can never be overdressed or overeducated.
Ding dong.
Hello, H.G. Wells. H for short? H.G. What do we go by again?
A nebbish, manic H.G. Wells holds up a burnt loaf of bread.
I cooked it in a new contraption I made. An enclosure that bombards food with electromagnetic radiation such that the food molecules themselves build up an amount of thermal energy. It's wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yes, it's incredibly efficient.
Yes, that is not a real thing, and I should know.
Ding dong. Emily Dickinson pales in the doorway.
Oh, I thought someone knocked.
I did. I knocked.
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Emily Dickinson. I stay in my room a lot. I write poems like you. We're a lot alike, actually.
I don't think so, no, but we may have an extra spot.
You invited me.
Oh, you could be really pretty if you wore your hair differently and tried a different outfit and just kind of did something else up here.
Lenore motions to her face and everything. Doorbell.
Ah, Mary Ann, so glad you could.
A slender, pretty young lady, George Eliot, poorly disguised as a man, stands holding a giant turkey leg.
Name's Elliot, George Eliot, likes beer, sporting, talking about sporting, dislikes peeing, sitting down, tending to the house, and not talking about sporting.
Mary Ann, I'm not sure
Seem that you must have me mistaken for some damsel. I understand that I've got delicate features. My name is George Eliot, though. That's two male names, George and Eliot. Can't forget it. Show me to the billiard room or a voting booth.
Doorbell. Fyodor Dostoevsky, hirsute and intimidating, stands in the doorway wearing a parka and a fur hat.
Hello. I brought vodka.
Ah, wonderful. Fyodor, I will just...
Mine.
Swoops in and grabs the vodka.
Mine.
A spirit for a spirit. Wonderful.
Oh, shuts the door.
Friends, thank you for being here. We are still waiting on a few guests who are definitely my friends.
Interior dining room, night. Host stands at the head of the table. His guests sit along the sides, each with a name tag.
Agatha Christie said she would be running late. Also, my dear friend Annabelle Lee and her +1. Also, Emily Dickinson.
Dickinson looks down at her plate, sad.
Tonight will be quite exciting. Everyone was given a character card with a name and brief biography. Please study it, for it is to be your identity for the duration of the evening.
Dickinson looked at
Mine's blank.
Ah, yes. You picked the rare blank character card. Good on you.
My card says that I'm a duchess. I have no insight into the mind of a woman. Might anyone be interested in trading me for a man character?
No, but please, no trading. First, Lenore, we'll bring out the soup. Lenore?
Soups. Bowls of soup appear on the table.
Next, we figure out who goes first.
Edgar, I love my character, but I did make some tweaks. Can I run these by you tomorrow?
No, it's fine. Okay, we figure out who goes first based on.
Poe pulls out an instruction pamphlet entitled "How to Execute a Perfect Murder Mystery Dinner Party."
Okay, whose birthday is most recent?
Oh, mine is in 3 weeks. Party is tree themed. Everyone dressed as your favorite tree. Mine is the Tilia Americana. Ooh.
Let's go shot for shot. See who goes first. Eh?
Begins pouring. Alcott joins him in drinking them.
Who is Detective Inspector Ignatius Crumblefeather? He needs to be sitting north. Wait, facing north or just sitting?
That's me. I spent time in jail with a very kind Ignatius once. We still write letters back and forth.
When does someone get murdered?
I know who did it.
Does anyone want to trade?
Dickinson holds up her blank card.
Yeah, what do you got?
Greek diplomat Winifred Kostopoulos. It says I only speak Greek, but I don't speak Greek.
Oh, I know 3 kinds of Greek. Now you're prominent abolitionist Flanders Winterbottom. Cheers.
They trade. Hemingway pours Alcott a drink from his flask.
Stop trading. They are all very good cards.
Sorry we're late.
Edgar freezes. Annabelle Lee, beautiful ingenue, stands in the doorway with Eddie, banker, great guy.
Hi everyone, I'm Annabelle. This is Eddie. He's a banker.
Everyone stares at Eddie and Annabelle. Dostoevsky smiles.
Hi, Eddie Dantes. Sorry we're delayed. My volunteer shift at the old folks' home ran late, and then on the way over, we came across a barbershop quartet, and their bass was out with a sore throat, so I filled in. You know how it goes.
He has perfect pitch.
And yet, it's imperfection that makes things truly interesting. Please come this way.
Poe pulls out the empty chair closet closest to him, and Annabelle sits down. Eddie starts to sit next to her, but Poe pulls the chair away and drags it to the far end of the table, wedging it in between Wilde and Dostoevsky. He hands Eddie his card as Dostoevsky pats him on the shoulder. Everyone is uneasy as Eddie sits and eats a spoonful of soup.
Wow, what's everyone's deal? I thought I was the dead one here.
Parties are not the place for jokes, Lenore. Now, time for everyone's favorite part, the rules. Once everyone has finished their soup, the lights will go out and someone will die. Our first victim is Belladonna Spillingsworth, daughter of a railroad magnate, Barnabas Spillingsworth.
That's me. She died on the very same railroad named after her by her father, the victim of a terrible...
She bolts up from her chair, agitated. Shelley.
Look here. Before this night goes on, I have something to say.
The lights go out. A girlish scream.
Oscar, get off me!
Sorry.
The lights flicker back on. Eddie is face forward in a bowl of soup, dead.
Right in the soup.
A stunned dinner table. Annabelle runs to Eddie, face down in the soup.
Eddie?
Can someone take his face out of my soup? I worked really hard on it. The soup.
Well, this is fun.
No, wait, this isn't...
Were we supposed to do that as well?
Oh, for God's sake, have some dignity, please.
No, sweet. I think we have to wait our turns to put our faces in the soup.
No, that's... The soup is just for eating.
No, you don't eat soup. Soup is for drinking and for throwing on the ground as you demand real food.
Have you heard of our Okroshka? It's cold soup. Cold soup! Who would ever want such a thing?
Oh, wait, I get it. Now we have to figure out what kind of soup it was.
No. This is the first murder we're meant to solve. As prominent abolitionist, Flanders Winterbottom, I propose we end slavery once and for all. Wait, how does this work?
I don't think he's breathing.
What? Really? No, I mean, no. This isn't part of the game.
The game of life and the game of death have one thing in common. They do not care what you want.
Oh, beautiful.
So, did you check out the latest sports?
Naturally. Say, what sort of skin balm do you use? You have no shaving bumps at all.
Thanks. You.
Eddie! Eddie!
Oh, she really is committed.
Fine. Then the murder mystery is underway. First thing we'll need to determine is motive. Who benefited most from the killing? Virgil, the foul-smelling orangutan. Edgar, really? Come on. Virgil? It's a terrible name.
That is my line, and this isn't...
No, okay. Pay attention, okay? No need to sell it further, friend. We're all playing along now. Firstly, I suspect the soup.
How dare you?
Yeah.
He did taste it. That's fun. It's a clue.
I'm sorry, the soup?
The soup is a red herring.
You would say that.
No, I mean, it's a red herring soup with a red pepper garlic sauce.
Here.
Please, I beg of you, a grave and sinister act has been committed here this night.
Yeah, Louisa May's dress.
I only intended to have a night of revelry.
Aha! It was you. You stood to make the most money from Virgil's death.
No, this isn't a game, but even if it was, you wouldn't have even heard my character yet. I am a Western lawman turned bounty hunter, Ezekiel Farmer. I have no monetary stake in the death of an orangutan. Also, an orangutan he has no money. Use your head.
Edgar, I can't feel a pulse.
This talking is bold, Dash and Huey. Someone or other was always falling ill at school, so I taught myself CPR. Got top marks, too. Let's see if the old chap has still got a pulse, shall we?
A murder mystery game that turns into a real murder. Oh, Edgar, you found on yourself.
Wait! This wisp of a woman is right. He's not breathing.
I'm not good with real death.
Oh, well, I swear by the completely natural mustache on my face that this is the quiet turn of events.
What is this?
What have you done, Poe?
Edgar?
No. This was supposed to be Lenore?
A good time.
A good time, yes!
What have you gotten us all into?
No sense of crying over spilled milk. We need to scour the room for any clues that will help us figure out who murdered Eddie and Emily Dickinson.
What? I'm right here.
Just leave my soup out of it.
Look here, Phantasm. You're a prime suspect. You'd have us think you can't hold or touch things like sports coats, and yet here you are, glued to that martini glass.
I'm sorry. I have to really concentrate in order to hold or touch anything. I can't even teleport until I'm 100 ghost years old. It's Ghost 101. This kind of thing is all I go corporeal for.
Haunt these halls no more.
This night has taken a dastardly turn, and I mean to fetch an inspector.
If a crime has indeed been committed by someone, I would prefer if no one leave the scene, especially Earhat here. That's right. Don't think I didn't notice when you said you're an escaped convict.
You seemed to recognize Eddie when he arrived.
I am no escaped convict. I was released. As for Mr. Dantes, yes, I knew him. I had no quarrel with him, and he took me in and sheltered me after my time in Siberian prison camp. What tragedy this is for all of us.
Such a hard story, but told so beautifully.
Well, that settles it. Tie him up and we'll all go get help.
No, Charlotte is right. We don't know that Fyodor had anything to do with this. The murderer may leave, and we would never be the wiser. Also, my house hasn't passed an inspection in years, and I do not need that heat right now.
Psst. Psst. Psst.
Ernest, you have something to say?
When I have something to say, I say it. When I don't, I stop typing.
Have you all gone mad? Are you all in on this? I'm getting out of here.
She runs out of the room. The authors get up, frozen in panic, until they hear a muffled choking sound and a thud. They look around at each other and rush out to the rotunda, stopping short as they see something on the ground. Louisa May Alcott's dead body. Shelley kneels.
Louisa May Alcott, spinster through and through, has now reached the pinnacle of transcendentalism. May she be at one with the earth. May she find her peace.
Well, someone had that ready to go.
I'm just really good at eulogies.
Edgar, I'm frightened. We must alert the police.
Yes, I agree.
Good thing Stripes are in, because you are going to jail, son.
I'm not going to jail. None of us are going to jail. Okay, probably one of you is going to jail.
Wait, what's this?
Hemingway leans over the body and turns her head to reveal a scarlet handkerchief stuffed in Alcott's mouth.
What is it?
Hemingway pulls out his switchblade and fishes the hanky out, holding it up. Shelley walks up and takes it with her hand. Everyone is disgusted.
Moist.
Oh, great. You solved it.
Look.
Angle on a stitching in the corner of the handkerchief. It seems a cursive signature or drawing, hard to make out, that seems to be the letter A with a picture of a bell.
Is that
a bell?
Or a bell? Annabelle?
What? That's not mine.
I'd probably say that if it were mine, too.
Well, I think we can all agree that the most innocent person here is the beautiful and innocent Annabelle Lee, and also she's the most beautiful. Now, can we start taking this seriously?
I don't know. Seems like the innocent thing might be an act.
How could you? I came here with a gentleman I cared very much about, who is now dead, and you accuse me? When would Miss Alcott have taken my hanky?
Procure your handkerchief, post haste.
I don't have one on me.
Aha! Open and shut case.
You guys, Annabelle would never accessorize in that color with her complexion.
True. I mean, I don't know.
Who was feeding her drinks? She was having coughing fits.
Oh, we celebrated with beverage, but I did not poison her.
Let's bring her back to the dining room and we'll figure this out.
Oh, with a soup.
Oh, I concur with the spirit. That is super gross.
We have to move these bodies somewhere else.
I may be going out on a limb, but perhaps you have some kind of vault space in your cellar that you are amenable to storing dead bodies in.
Naturally.
Ah!
Well, come on. Everybody does.
Mine's in my attic.
We can keep Miss Alcott and Mr. Dantes there until help arrives.
Great. Let's fetch him.
The group turns toward the dining room. Interior dining room. They re-enter to see a knife sticking a rolled parchment into the table.
That wasn't here before, right?
There's a note.
They rush to the table.
What does it say?
Hemingway unsticks the knife with a flourish as Poe grabs the parchment, unfolds it, and reads.
Good evening, authors. What a lovely party this has been. I hope you left the room for the next course when you all get your just desserts. Tell no one, seek no help, do not under any circumstances leave this abode, or the only thing you will be authoring henceforth is your own death.
Well, we know who did it. H.G. Wells, you stand accused. That notice of intent is as hacky as anything you've ever spewed forth.
Perhaps notifying the local constables is not in our best interest.
You actually believe that? If we left right now, you think we would all be struck down dead?
We are dealing with a madman.
Or lady. Just saying.
Gentlemen, help me with this body.
A dusty vault. Poe, Hemingway, Wilde, and Wells lay down the corpses of Eddie and Louisa May Alcott.
Oh, I was half expecting to find some dead bodies already down here.
That's absurd. At this temperature?
The dining room. Poe, Hemingway, Wilde, and Wells re-enter to a debate.
I'm with Miss Shelley. I think this is preposterous, and it's a fate worse than death to be held here with all of you a moment longer.
Miss Shelley, right before the lights went out, you rose to say something quite urgent.
Sighs and downs her drink.
Fine. As you know, I initially published my seminal work Frankenstein anonymously. Years ago, my husband and I retreated to Lake Geneva with Lord Byron and his mistress. Your beau, Eddie Dantes, was also there. Being friends with the great poet, Byron entreated us to come up with a ghost story. This is, of course, where I birthed my monster, who in turn birthed another monster. But perhaps there was yet another monster. Eddie had made a rogue suggestion, nothing more than a turn of phrase here or there, but he insisted on taking more credit than he was due. I had to publish anonymously at first, and ever since he swore he would discredit everything I've ever accomplished.
Okay, so hella motive.
I swear I had nothing to do with his death. I didn't even know he was coming, and I've never even met Louisa May Alcott.
You understand this connection creates a certain suspicion?
Or it's pure coincidence.
Yeah, you also got a coincidence hidden in your britches.
Sweetie, if I'd ever met that hunk of meat, he wouldn't have been Cinderella's +1 tonight. It would have been the ravishing Charlotte Bronte and her handsome lover, Eduardo Dantes. We will be the talk of the town.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You said Eduardo.
Well, yes, that was his name. No?
I don't believe we ever said his full name.
Okay, so?
Well, if I heard the name Eddie, I wouldn't assume his full name was Eduardo. That's pretty unique. I would assume his name was Edgar.
No, you would assume it was Edward.
No.
Edward is the most common name for someone named Eddie.
No, there are many more common names. Edwin, Edforth, Edberg.
Well, the point is you are familiar with our deceased guest.
Oh, fine. I find this coincidence strange and confusing, possibly incriminating, which is the only reason I resisted initially, but I have nothing to hide. Eddie was a banker who was foreclosing on our family home.
Hold up. We're officially entering mystery mode and Agatha Christie is still late. We should take notes. Who here's the best writer? Okay, you, Goggles.
Lenore thrusts a notepad at H.G. Wells, who shrugs and puts down the forks that he's bending into weird shapes.
So, did he foreclose?
That wasn't going to happen. My siblings and I are all so very talented that we would surely have come up with the money to make amends with him and end this nonsense. Who do you think we are? The Austins?
Oh, I hate them.
Yes, he wasn't so bad. I met him through my publisher. I honestly was worried that he was going to reveal my true identity tonight as a woman. Neither.
A what?
Like a man who's a real lady killer.
So a murderer.
No. It's a saying, you know, a real Don Juan, cat about time. It's a shame about those dead people.
Okay, who here didn't know Eddie?
Lens Crafters, what's the consensus?
Wells has set up a chart with motives and yarn connecting photos of everyone. In the center is a picture of Eddie.
Where did you get those pictures?
According to my copious notes, probable cause in this double homicide abounds. But who here hated Eddie with the most fervor? Who among us wanted this man out of the world for good? Who had the most to gain from his demise?
Between men and women, there is no friendship possible. There is passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship.
But Oscar, come on. I know I should have invited you.
Eliminating the only obstacle to your unrequited love. Story for the ages.
Actually, I've transposed motive, location, and temperament into numerical form and mapped out a formula to produce a value of probable guilt, and it seems the most likely culprit thus far is, Miss Shelley.
Hands out.
Numbers cannot see into my heart. I am innocent and I demand to have this looked into by professionals.
I'm with Mary. I will not be terrorized by some poorly written warning. We are adults and we should alert the authorities.
I beg of you, I wish to get to the bottom of this as well.
Ellie moves to the exit.
Well, I'm not going out there. As we have seen, that way lies certain death.
Ellie turns, sees another door, and walks to it.
Fine, I'm sure we can find our way out of here.
I think it unwise to leave.
Ellie turns the knob and is electrocuted. She slumps down dead. Charlotte Bronte screams.
Ah!
The group hurries to her body. Wyatt leans down to take the pulse.
It's alive!
Oh, phew.
It's something I would say if she was alive. She is not.
Hemingway kicks open the door. In the hallway is H.G. Wells's microwave hooked up by wires to the other side of the door.
Wells's contraption.
No, I didn't do this. I left it right there.
This is problematic.
Hey. You came to this fool's house for an evening of quiet entertainment, and he has endangered you, but I shall get to the bottom of this. Friend, something is afoot. I suggest we scour the house for clues. I suggest we splits up.
Wait. Splits up?
Yes. Pairs off.
It's a terrible idea. Your partner murderer will be in grave dangers.
Are you really accusing one of us of being the murderers?
Who else could it possibly be?
You!
If I had wanted to kill Eddie, I wouldn't have done it in a room full of potential witnesses that I invited. I would have been far more inconspicuous, perhaps learning a foreign language to throw off anyone within earshot, Mandarin probably, and then, I don't know, followed him home from work at the bank on a Tuesday since he uses the back entrance off Pratt Street. And then to further confound authorities, I would have planted something inscrutable like a feather of a Brazilian peacock or a rind from a fruit only grown in Papua New Guinea, which I hold up here. And at which point, I mean, theoretically.
This is tiresome. Let's just split into pairs and be done with it.
Killer talk.
Watch it.
Oh, I'd feel so threatened if I wasn't already dead.
Perhaps starting at the top and working down would be useful.
I'll take you to the attic. It's my jam.
Well, I'm not walking around this place with someone who could actually murder me. Mr. Elliot?
Yeah, not to fear. I'll bring along Duke of Coventry and Humphrey Callwater to protect you.
Yes, that is what I meant.
It tries to burp, but ends up just saying
burp.
See why we can't hold tight until Miss Christie arrives.
Sweetie, I'm not waiting around for Agatha while we keep dying off. This is just like that time at our summer estate last year when we thought our sister Emily had been maliciously poisoned, but it turned out had just caught the influenza, which killed her.
Edgar, what can I do to help?
Annabelle and I shall explore the upstairs. Perhaps the murderer has left a hair whilst hiding.
Or perhaps the murderer lives there. She's not going alone, Poe. I'll be coming along. There's an odd number of us, so there has to be one group of 3.
Actually, there's an even number.
I guess that leaves me with the most murdery-looking person here.
A toast to ending this horrible night, certainly the worst of any of our lives.
You have got to be kidding me.
exterior manner. Thunder and lightning illuminate the manor. Spooky. Interior bedroom, night. Hemingway looks out a window. Annabelle and Poe comb for clues.
Miss Lee, have you ever enjoyed the final drops of a robust Rioja while taking in a golden Spanish sunset? If we get out of here alive.
Oh, put a sock in it, you drunk. We're looking for clues.
And I found one. The only clue I need to the mystery of who I'm going to Spain with after this nightmare. Wink.
Thank you, Ernest. But I actually have taken in a golden Spanish sunset quite recently. I found the whole experience rather overrated.
You did? You went to Spain? With Eddie?
Overrated? Yes. Finally someone who agrees with me. Can't stand the place. Sunsets? Might as well watch paint dry. France, however.
I like Spain. I'll go to Spain.
Oh, I don't think your complexion and that climate are going to match up.
You know, you think I'd burn, but...
Excuse me. 3 people have died tonight in this house, one of whom was very dear to me. Very dear to me. And I will not have you bicker about vacation spots. I will scour this upstairs by myself if I must.
Storms out. Hemingway falls onto the bed. As he pulls out a cigarette and a lighter, a paper falls out of his pocket.
No, please, don't smoke. And don't litter. What is wrong with you?
Poe picks up the paper.
Give that here.
This is an IOU to Eduardo Dantes.
Hemingway cringes.
Look, I owed the man for a sports bet. Nothing more. He had given me extra time to pay up, and I was close to extinguishing the debt. I'm a man of my word.
Oh, I believe that.
Please don't tell the others.
That you're a liar, and a drunk, and a deadbeat. Annabelle is right. I'm going to explore the other bedrooms.
He leaves.
You'll never leave me.
Interior attic, night. Wells frantically laces some wiring around attic posts.
Aren't we supposed to be looking for clues?
No, that's a waste of time. I'm ensuring we catch clues that haven't been dropped yet.
I don't follow.
I'm creating a rudimentary image capture device. With a lens and a simple chemical processing, I'll build the cameras. Then I'll put together a sort of motion sensor, and that way, when someone moves past the camera, it will activate, revealing the killer.
So we can see what's happening anywhere in the house?
In real time, yes. We won't be able to store the images, but yes, wherever we put a camera.
I mean this in the nicest way, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It's not the first time I've heard that. In fact, that Eddie bloke laughed at my last invention, and now time machines are the talk of the science fiction town.
Wait, you knew Dead Eddie too?
Well, I guess there's no point in denying it. I went to him for a loan for supplies to build a model time machine. It would be used for marketing my books, and perhaps one day... I mean, I don't believe in actual time travel or anything, but I do believe in it, but I didn't think mentioning my connection to Eddie would help. 'Cause after all, I didn't kill him. What use would it be inviting suspicion when it would take time away from finding the real murderer?
So who do you think did it?
Well, you don't think I did it?
I'm a pretty great judge of character.
Well, I've been thinking about Alcott's symptoms, and I don't think she was poisoned in the dining room.
What? How do you know?
Her body exhibited signs of potassium cyanide exposure. It's too fast acting. Her coughing fit earlier may have been unrelated.
Weird. I thought it was because she wore that dress.
Oh. Yes. It was a joke. I see. It was hideous.
Interior study, night. Dostoevsky flips through dusty books. Charlotte Bronte, bored, walks around checking the place out.
I've seen nicer studies and... Oh, forget it. I'm not wasting a good study insult on someone who barely speaks English. Hey, Beard, you think you're going to find the murderer in there?
No, merely inspiration.
Okay, you stay here and be ominous. But if I hear you coming near me...
I'm not the murderer.
Well, I'm not the murderer either. I've got my eyes on you.
Back and arches an eyebrow. Interior kitchen, night. Emily Dickinson enters carefully. She wanders to the stove and looks in, dips a spoon in, and tries the soup.
Wow, the soup is pretty good.
Attic. Wells works on his camera while Lenore watches.
So what does HG stand for?
I couldn't possibly tell you. It's terribly embarrassing.
Is that why you got into inventing weird things? Because you have experience being embarrassed?
When I was young, I had an accident, broke my leg, and spending weeks in bed recovering, all I could do was read. And read and read. So I decided I should write. Writing is inventing in its own way, so I figured I could do some real inventing as well. When did you get into fashion?
My mother told me I came out of the womb crying, and I wouldn't stop until someone wrapped me in an organza swaddle. So...
A long time then.
I'm not old, though. I, literally just died, not that long ago.
How did you move on to the other side, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, it was my wedding day. I was getting married to the love of my life, Guy DeVere. That week. The love of my life that week.
Yeah.
Lenore's bedroom. Flashback. Lenore looks at herself in the mirror. She wears a wedding dress and holds a bouquet of flowers. Guy DeVere walks in.
Guy, like, what are you even doing here? It's such bad juju to see the bride before the wedding.
Guy smiles and twirls her.
I just couldn't wait.
Guy looks concerned and touches her head.
Lenore, you're burning up. I must fetch you a physician.
Oh, I think I ate a bad batch of ribs at the bachelorette party.
Lenore's bedroom, day. Lenore lies in her canopy bed, pale and sweaty and totes dying. Guy sits by her side, holding her hand.
For her, the fair and debonair that now so lowly lies, the life still there upon her hair, the death upon her eyes.
At least this dress is fair.
Attic, present day.
Mystery illness happens all the time, even to us hot people. But my family hired a really cool psychic, Krishanti, and she brought me back. I guess I owe her my afterlife.
Sorry. Have you haunted your fiance at all?
No, actually. He died too, shortly after me. Killed himself.
Because of...
Yeah, because of me. Ugh, lame. I should have waited a hot sec. He should have waited a hot sec, and I would have come back to haunt him, and it would have been amazing.
Well, I imagine I would have been extremely sad if I were him too. Cribble sticks, I didn't bring enough wire.
I'll go get more.
Vault, as Wilde and Elliot drag Shelley's body in.
Wait, so... Wait, so Frankenstein isn't the name of the monster?
No, that's just the doctor.
So what's the monster's name?
Basement. They leave, entering into the dark basement.
Look!
She points at a tiny gated entryway.
It's an elevator!
They get in, press a button, and the elevator goes up to the kitchen.
The kitchen?
A scampering noise. They both scream and jump around.
It was a mouse.
Oh! This is by far the worst thing that's happened tonight.
Frantically, they get in the elevator and mash the button. Basement. The elevator stops and Elliot and Wilde run out. The following is all in darkness.
Oscar, did you hear that?
They walk down a hallway to an open door. Something clanks.
Isn't this a portending portal?
Elliot walks through the door.
We can't hear you, Tara.
Hello?
No, we can't.
Hello? Hello?
Where are you?
Should we look around here? Slam.
Door slams shut. Elliot tries to open it, but it's jammed. On the other side, Wilde also struggles with the door. Elliot turns around and we hear the soft caws of ravens.
Call.
Marianne, are you okay?
Who is Marianne? I do say that name is quite foreign.
Oh, stop it! What's in there?
I think it's ravens.
Hold tight. I'll try to find a crowbar.
He leaves, then immediately comes back.
Or a raven bar.
Oscar!
Sorry, be back quick.
There are silent shots through the mansion, ending with a door creak and a thunk off screen. Upstairs hallway.
Edgar! Ernest!
They run
Annabelle! Oh, I came as soon as I heard.
We both did. What?
Annabelle holds up a vial of liquid with a red ribbon and all.
It was sitting on the windowsill in that room.
What gives, Poe? Very mysterious, you keeping vials of poison around?
Who would leave a piece of incriminating evidence just lying around in the open?
Look closely.
A streak of blood.
Whose blood is that?
A female scream tears through the house. They look at each other and rush out of the room. In the study, Charlotte Bronte looks down at something, terrified. The others rush in, minus Elliot.
Charlotte, what is that?
She points to reveal an axe in the head of Dostoevsky. Dostoevsky lies with an axe in his head. Wilde walks up to him, inspecting the gory scene.
Guys, we really need to get a handle of this situation.
Edgar, will you please hire a cleaning lady? This blood is never going to come out of the carpet.
If anyone cares to remember, I was against splitting up, unlike others.
Elliot runs in, covered in raven poop.
I came out as soon as I heard.
We all did.
All did.
What is that?
I believe I found the ravenry. Found a way out through the vent. This has been a terrible night.
Wells paces, frantic.
According to the evidence at hand and based on the hypothesis that no one else is in the house other than the people invited to Edgar's dinner party, you, Charlotte, are the prime suspect in this particular murder. Culpability is evident by your sole witnessing of the crime and geographic location relative to the crime scene.
Wells trips over Dostoevsky's body and screams.
Charlotte, no one is accusing you.
No, I am. I definitely am.
But could you please tell us what happened?
Charlotte pours herself some wine from a nearby bottle.
It was dark, so I walked across the room to turn on a lamp. I heard a horrible noise, and once I managed to turn the light on, I saw Dostoevsky on the ground like this. Then I suppose I screamed.
Agatha Christie will be here soon. She'll hopefully be able to figure all of this out.
I think I may have already done just that. Friends, although it's likely our comrade was poisoned, it seems our host has been hiding a significant amount of the stuff in his boudoir.
That wasn't mine. Also, this man is a liar who is in debt to Eddie for losing a sports bet and hates going to Spain.
Strong words for a poison baron. Perhaps you have a cellar for the stuff in addition to the wine?
Oh, I really hope I can still pre-order his Tales from the Moscow Prison short story anthology.
I read The Galley. It's a real hatchet job.
Oh, Oscar, you're looking awfully suspect.
Yeah, take it easy with the jokes.
Oh, you think these are easy?
Charlotte screams, spilling wine all over the wall.
What was that about?
Oh, sorry, I just forgot about him, and then I looked over there.
Dostoevsky's body.
Okay, can someone take this copper wire and tie her up?
Dickinson and Elliot oblige, tying Charlotte to a chair. She sighs. Wilde frets over his wine-stained shirt.
We should probably get him out of here, gentlemen.
Elliot pushes Wells and Hemingway aside. She walks to the body and heaves with all her might before dropping him.
It's actually my rest day. Shouldn't really be working the old muscles as much.
Poe and Wells pick up the body.
To the cellar.
They walk out with the body.
Honestly, why would I kill him when I was the only one with him? It's far too incriminating.
Oh, maybe he made a snide remark about your dress? I, however, think it is lovely. Where did you get it? So I can have one for my my lady friend, who I am courting successfully.
Oh, I think I might pass out from all the blood.
Annabelle rushes to help her.
Hang on, sweetie.
Annabelle guides Emily to a chair and attends to her. Emily smiles at this gesture of kindness.
You're just a little flush.
Thank you, Miss Lee. I am truly sorry for your loss tonight.
Thank you.
And Mr. Wilde, how are you not more concerned? People are dying around you. You could be next.
Is that a threat, Miss Bronte?
I lived across a plot of land Mr. Eddie owned. He was to build a branch of his bank there. I fear I was so distraught over the people and noise it would attract, I wrote several strongly worded poems to him, begging him to reconsider.
Annabelle looks slightly alarmed.
But I am sorry this happened.
Ladies, I'm sorry, but this is my most foppish shirt, and I must attend to it in the bathroom. Luckily, I have a change of clothes for every occasion. You never know when you're going to end up in the morning.
I could visit the little boy's room to dislodge some of this bird poop.
I'll show you to the washroom. Lenore, Emily, wash Miss Bronte.
Wild links arms with Annabelle and Elliot and leaves. Lenore and Bronte cross their arms and glare at each other.
So, who's your hairstylist?
You wouldn't know him. He only works with ectoplasm. Ugh, I can't even with you.
In the vault, Hemingway, Wells, and Poe put Dostoevsky's body down.
You're going to have a trove of celebrated authors down here soon if we don't nab this culprit.
Poe and Wells leave. Hemingway pauses, thinking. In the upstairs hallway, Wilde, Annabelle, and Elliot approach the bathroom. Wilde is about to enter, but turns to Elliot.
You need this more than I do. Please, ladies first.
Quite sure I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you very much. Thank you, very, very kind of you.
Elliot slips into the washroom. We're in the study, and the doorbell rings.
That must be the great Miss Agatha Christie.
Oh, finally.
Front door. Lenore and Dickinson rush from the study, meeting Poe and Wells returning from the cellar. Hemingway is notably absent. They arrive at the front door, which Poe opens. A pale Agatha Christie stands in the frame.
Agatha, we are so...
Agatha Christie falls forward onto her face. There is a knife in her back, multiple stab wounds, thunder and lightning. Suddenly, a scream from the back of the main hallway. The group rushes to the bathroom. Wilde pounds on the door. Annabelle is gone.
What is going on? Where's Annabelle?
She went to find you.
Poe heaves himself into the door, busting it open. The group enters the bathroom. In the bathroom, slumped against the bath, is George Eliot with a giant picture frame bashed over her head. The window is open. Annabelle rushes in from behind the group.
You are? What's happening?
She sees Eliot.
Oh no!
She rushes toward her and Eliot murmurs, barely alive.
Oh, sorry. Yes? Who did this to you?
May not believe it, but I, George Eliot, am indeed a woman.
Yes, honey, we know that. But who?
Eliot slumps over.
Wait, where's Ernest?
The group rushes back out. Interior, study. The group rushes back in. Charlotte is still tied up, bored.
Not here.
Looks like the killer can't be Charlotte. She was with us the whole time. Her only crime was being totally basic.
I did it.
The others turn to reveal Hemingway standing with a knife.
You did?
Yes. I brought knives for everyone, for protection.
Procures knives from his pocket.
No, in protecting us, you will also be giving the murderer a knife.
I think the murderer is doing just fine.
You disappear while two people are murdered and then reappear holding instruments of death.
Okay, pal. I was in the kitchen.
How am I still tied up?
Oh, fine.
Lenore snaps and Wells and Dickinson untie Charlotte. Poe leaves the room, followed by the others. The front door. Poe leans by Agatha's body. He touches the knife. It's an Indian handle.
She was stabbed 10 times.
If I may offer a suggestion.
Please.
But this is quite unlike me, but you were saying something about a psychic your family hired to conjure the ghosts of the dead?
Ashanti.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of dead people in this house. I bet at least one of them saw whoever killed them.
Is the good professor suggesting we hold a seance?
Mm-hmm.
Interior study. Everyone sits. Lenore floats into the room.
She should be here soon.
How do you know this conjurer?
She's the one who summoned me. So good with dead people.
Again, do not tell her about the murders. She must know nothing, right?
Don't tell the psychic ghost summoner about all the dead people. Got it. Cool.
Yes, yes.
The doorbell.
Oh, she's here.
Lenore leaves. Edgar fidgets. Annabelle takes his hand.
Calm down, Edgar. This will all be sorted out soon.
I just wanted a nice dinner.
Gathering a bunch of the most brilliant minds in literature? Something strange was bound to happen.
Thank you, Oscar, for the implication that I'm a brilliant literary mind.
Oh, hello. Oscar Wilde, and you are?
Emily. I've been here all night.
Lenore re-enters with Krishanti, a 1970s hippie. She goes up to everyone and places her hands on their faces.
Guys, this is Krishanti. She's very hands-on.
Just getting a sense of everyone's auras.
Krishanti touches Charlotte Bronte's forehead.
Careful. I get very cranky when hair is in my face.
Krishanti spins around the room, swishing her skirts about.
I want to thank you for inviting me into this sacred space. I feel several spirits in the air this eve, and I'm anxious to hear what they have to say.
Krishanti strokes Annabelle's hair, taking a big lock of it in her hand and pulling it across her face absent-mindedly. She drops it suddenly and addresses the room.
Form a circle, everyone.
They do as she says, pulling chairs around her into a circle.
I need a candle, unused, white, to cleanse the room.
As Krishanti sprinkles lavender on the ground, Poe opens his jacket to reveal several candles, all of different colors.
Good man, are you selling the things?
One never knows when one will be catastrophically immersed in total darkness in this world. One must always be prepared.
One must.
Krishanti lights the candle dramatically and holds it up.
Spirits of the realm, hear me. I am the mother goddess Krishanti Ravenwolf. Answer our call. We mean you no harm, only to receive your bountiful messages from the great beyond. Come, give us a sign.
A gust of wind blows through the room.
Did someone leave a window open?
Yeah, I think that was our sign.
Ugh, when people summon me and ask for a sign, I show up and I'm like, here's a sign. It says this way to the salon. When's the last time you had your eyebrows waxed? Am I right?
Edgar, I'm terribly frightened.
No, don't be. It is merely the ghost of those murdered in the house over the past hour telling us which one of us is the murderer.
It appears we have our first spirit returned.
Where?
Bronte points to Emily Dickinson.
I'm not a ghost. I'm alive.
I hear another. You, there, apparition from another realm. Speak your name.
Seldom, except in books, do the dying utter memorable words or depart with beatified countenances.
I'm scarcely conscious.
And those who have sped many parting
Almost
souls
without effort,
know that to most,
mechanically brought at the blunt.
the end comes as unnaturally as sleep.
Shelley appears, overlapping Dostoevsky's speech.
Strangely are our souls constructed, and by such a slight ligament are we bound to the prosperity or ruin.
Yes, we understand. You were all very verbose. Get to the point. This is why I despise writers. Bah!
The apparitions disappear, and suddenly a man appears who is not at the dinner. This is Guy de Vere. Lenore gasps.
What is it? Who is this man?
Spirit, speak your truth to us.
He is not able.
Guy points to Annabelle. Her eyes widen.
Excuse me, I'm not able to do what?
She is not able.
Guy looks to Lenore. She walks over to him and puts out her hand. H.G. Wells shifts uncomfortably.
The past comes into the present. The one who kills for sport. The one who couldn't bring me back. Beware.
Stupid. Stupid.
Charlotte sneezes, blowing. Lenore bends closer to Guy, but he disappears before their hands can touch.
Sorry, I'm allergic to lavender, and it's just all over the room now.
Krishante is very still, disturbed by what she heard.
Perhaps Sage then. I will get some to continue the seance. Excuse me.
Krishante rushes out.
I'm going with her.
We should really stay together.
She can't go alone. There may be a killer out there.
Yes, Emily, please stay put.
No, I am standing up for myself.
She trips over her dress and falls.
I am now standing up for myself, and I'm going to make sure our guest is safe and finds the sage she needs for the ghosts. I am not nobody.
Who is with me in saying Dostoevsky's rocking the dead vibe? Am I right?
I think he looked stupid.
It huffs and leaves, slamming the door behind her. A dark hallway. Emily walks down the dark hallway, checking behind corners and glancing over her shoulder. Study. Lenore and Wilde sit together.
So, who was he?
My fiance, dear Guy. He was Bay. He killed himself over me. Krishante could never bring him back until now.
Just doesn't sit right that we've let poor Emily wander off alone. I shall go accompany her.
Annabelle leaves.
But then you'll be all alone.
Not if one of us goes with her.
I will go with her.
I think not, my friend. She needs the protection of a real man.
Or you could argue about it while she gets murdered.
Oh.
Poe and Hemingway stare at each other, race to the door, and argue about which way to go. They go separate directions. In the kitchen, Krishante enters, timidly looking around. She spots a telephone and moves toward it. Study.
You know, I should mind my own business, but it's so boring compared to other people's.
He runs out. Charlotte and Lenore look at each other.
No.
She leaves.
Well, I'm not just staying here waiting for you. Do you hear me?
She leaves. After a beat, Wells looks up from an invention.
Oh dear.
Interior kitchen night. Krishante holds up the phone and whispers into the mouthpiece.
Hello, yes. I was hired tonight for a dinner party, but I think I have uncovered the identity of the murderer in the process. The killer is here, in the house.
The phone line goes dead. Krishante turns around and gags. Gloved hands wrap the cord of the phone around her neck and she chokes, clawing at the cord. Emily Dickinson stands in the doorway of the kitchen, watching in silence, her mouth agape. The killer doesn't see Emily and stalks out the kitchen's back door. Emily screams, but is cut off as the episode ends. Wow. See you guys next week. Interior rotunda. Emily's scream echoes through the halls. Interior kitchen. Emily faints. The authors rush in from different areas, stepping over Dickinson's body.
It's the scarf lady. She's dead.
Everyone, look around for clues, a weapon, anything.
Charlotte Bronte pours herself a drink.
I'm taking a page from your book, Ernie.
Careful though, he won't have any pages left.
Hey.
Wells smiles. They high five. Wells messes it up.
Oh, yes.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
Where's Emily?
Over here.
Poe leans by her body, with Wilde next to him.
Crushed by loneliness.
I'll prepare the vault.
I'll fetch her things.
Hemingway and Wells start to prep the psychic's body.
We'll follow forthwith.
My, we are becoming quite adept at this murder game, are we not?
Charlotte, Annabelle, Hemingway, and Wells leave with the body.
Yes, Miss Bronte. Yes, indeed.
Behind him, Dickinson sits up, gasping. She starts to say something, but hears a noise above her. She looks. Poe and Wilde inspect the phone for clues. In the background, a statue of a feather falls and kills Dickinson as she screams. Poe and Wilde turn and rush over to the body.
He's dead. Again.
Oh, Miss Dickinson, crushed by the feather of loneliness.
Charlotte and Annabelle rush back in. Hemingway and Wells rush back in.
We leave for a second and a dead person is re-murdered?
Okay, we all left the study. Any one of us could have killed Miss Krishanti or Miss Dickinson.
If I had to guess, Emily saw the murder take place after running to accompany her.
So who here had motive to kill Scarf Lady?
Lenore, you've got weird ghost powers, and she could never bring back your boyfriend.
And you're the whole reason we brought her here.
That's balderdash. I'm the one who suggested seancing.
That isn't a word.
Seancing isn't a word.
I suppose I had motive, as Krishanti is responsible for bringing Lenore back from death and foisting her upon me. Yes, I realize now this may not be the correct time for a joke.
Whatevs, Grim Reaper. You'd die of loneliness without me.
Yes, Oscar, what is it you said about loneliness?
Oh, God. I said Emily was crushed by the feather of loneliness, right?
That is amusing, actually.
You do hit them on the head occasionally, chap.
Emily was crushed as if by loneliness. I have an idea. To the washroom.
He runs out, the authors follow. Interior bathroom. Poe runs in, followed by everyone else.
The frame. Turn it this way.
Hemingway and Charlotte maneuver the frame around, revealing the torn painting to be a portrait of Oscar Wilde.
Oscar?
Edgar.
It's not mine.
Oh.
Listen, we are being dispatched in ways that that are relevant to our artistic output. Think about it.
Over slow motion flashbacks.
Miss Alcott with the scarlet fever. Miss Shelley with electricity. Dostoevsky with the axe. Miss Christie with the Indian blade.
Back in the room.
And George Eliot was killed by a picture of Oscar Wilde, just like that famous poem she wrote.
I think the killer intended to kill Oscar. Somehow things got mixed up.
Oscar did suggest George go into the bathroom first.
She was freezing and wet. I was being a gentleman. Also, my nose is not that big. Who did this? This is all wrong.
We mustn't jump to conclusions. It's possible Oscar is the murderer. It's also possible Oscar was intended to be the victim.
And the killer messed up.
Either way, Oscar must be isolated.
Interior study. Oscar sits in a chair in the middle of the room. The authors sit in a circle around him. A long beat.
Sitting in a chair silently and staring. Sounds like another Friday night at Edgar Allan Poe's house.
If I may, I fear I would be of more use to the cause if I continued my work around the house. I can assure you I'm working on a system that will solve this mystery for us.
Is he?
Well, there's a lot of wires involved, so I'd say that's promising.
And what if he's the murderer?
I'll go with him again.
What if he murders you?
I am already dead.
Fine, Lenore HG, please hurry.
We're running out of time.
Or are we?
Yes, we are. We are, right?
Yes, we are running out of time.
Look, I can't just sit here for the rest of the night.
You sound like you're itching to go murder more people.
Doorbell. A silent panic falls on the room.
Are we expecting anyone else?
Not that I know of.
Another ring.
We should leave it.
Agreed. Pretend we're not home.
Loud knocking.
The lights are all on.
Stay here. I'll take care of it.
He leaves.
Guys, we are doing a hell of a job at all staying in the same place together.
In the attic, Wells works while Lenore twirls her hair.
Nearly finished. Here, affix this to yonder wall.
He tosses Lenore a camera.
Okay, but how do you actually see this stuff? You can't be behind every camera at the same time.
My dear Lenore, you have hit it on the final piece of the puzzle. I brought you here to construct our final invention. I shall call it Music Swelling, an electronic video display signal interpretation terminal. For short, of course.
Of course.
They get to work. Front door. Poe nervously approaches the door, takes a breath, and opens it. 2 constables turn around.
Are you Mr. Allen Poe?
Yes.
Mr. Allen Poe, I'm Constable Jim with the Baltimore PD, and this is my partner, Constable Jimmy.
You're muted, Tara.
Yeah, my Constable Jimmy.
We are investigating the disappearance of mystery author Agatha Christie.
Constable Jimmy holds up a newspaper with a headline and picture of Agatha Christie. Poe takes it.
This is a picture of Agatha Christie.
That's good. You don't need to say names immediately after I say them.
Got it. Sorry, I'm new.
Don't be sorry. Now, Agatha Christie's been missing for days, but we recently found her car.
What's a car?
These were on the passenger seat.
Poe puts down the newspaper and takes an invitation for his dinner party.
Edgar Allan Poe invites you to Edgar Allan Poe's murder mystery invite only casual dinner party / gala for friends potluck.
Is it gala or is it gala?
I always thought it was gala. Gala seems a little put on.
Sirs, I can assure you we have not seen Miss Christie this evening. She informed me she would be late and then never showed.
Constable Jim nudges a timid Constable Jimmy forward.
You'll have to excuse him. This is his first day.
I'm really sorry.
Hey, don't be sorry. What did we talk about?
Watches, unsure if he's hallucinating.
Right. Okay. Mr. Allan Poe.
It's just actually just Mr. Poe or Ed Poe or actually Edgar Allan Poe. Just call me Mr. Edgar Allan Poe.
Ed, what's going on here tonight?
Here? I'm glad you asked. We are having a writers' conference.
Oh, so it's not a dinner party.
Oh, right. Yes and no. It's a writers' conference where we work on food metaphors.
Sounds like your kind of conference.
I'm just nuts about food metaphors.
You're under house arrest for enjoying a good food metaphor.
Oh, I plead guilty.
Life in prison. No pie roll.
Oh.
Bread roll. Do you get it?
Yes. That was very funny of you.
Interior study.
Well, this is great. Poe is probably dead now, too.
Don't say such a thing.
Miss Lee, this night is a test. The world breaks everyone, and afterwards some are strong at the broken pieces.
Yes, life is hard, thanks. We never would have known.
At least I can confront it like a man.
By punctuating every statement you make with a swig of alcohol?
Oh, I don't hide behind witticisms and bon mots. I tell it like it is.
Where are you getting these drinks?
I know how to box.
Oh, here we go with this.
I'm sure your boxing matches are as short as your stories.
Interior front door.
Well, gentlemen, I do wish you the gravest of luck on your search for Miss Christie. Do be safe out there.
Actually, Ed, I don't think we'd be doing our due diligence if we didn't speak to the other members of your writing club.
Ah, well,
They are currently. Might we talk to them for a minute?
Sees no way out and sighs.
Oh, please follow me.
Interior study. Poe and the constables enter as Hemingway strangles Wilde. Charlotte is on Hemingway's back while Annabelle tries to pry them apart. Poe clears his throat. They stop and stare.
We often find when we struggle with writer's block, we are struggling with each other.
We are so sorry to interrupt.
This looks like a really intense exercise, and I just want to say you're all doing very good work on yourselves, and that's important. Please, these are Constables Jim and Jimmy with the local police. They are investigating the disappearance of an Agatha Christie, and I've told them we certainly have heard nothing from her this evening, as we are merely a group of writers having a writers' conference about food metaphors.
Have I seen you before?
Probably. I'm very famous.
Sir, where were you last Thursday night?
Oh, well, I was hosting friends aboard my skiff off the coast of Cuba. We drank rum, smoked cigars. I wrestled one of them.
Really sounds fun.
It wasn't. Life is suffering.
None of you have seen Miss Agatha Christie. It seems she was invited to this writers' conference.
We've been in here all night.
Just us, in this room.
Well, that checks out.
Sorry again.
Poe.
Well, that was thrillingly close.
Whew, a little hot-blooded excitement can be good for you.
Speaking of which, where were our invites to your boat party?
Perhaps next time, Chuck. Miss Lee, care to join us on my next foray to Havana? We will drink rum as the sun rises and the habanera as it sets.
You can dance?
Madam, I am an expert in the art of the contrabanda.
Well, this I gotta see.
Poe escorts the constables out the door.
Well, I do hope sincerity that you find Miss Christie fully alive and unstabbed somewhere.
Thanks for everything, Ed.
Okay.
He starts to close the door, but the constables re-enter.
You know, there's actually one more thing I wanted to ask.
Poe is crestfallen.
By all means.
In the study, Poe and the constables enter to see Hemingway dancing with Annabelle and Charlotte dancing with Wilde, a rose in his teeth.
Legs move together, no crossing. Where are we? Argentina? Come on!
Poe clears his throat. Everyone looks up sheepish.
Often with food metaphors, are we hungry for food or each other?
I'm just so impressed with your dedication to your craft.
We don't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to get an idea of the times everyone got here.
A few minutes after 6. Never be too available, you know?
6:15, fashionably late.
Time is a construct inherently tying us to death. Undo every shackle, unseat every oppressor, and time will be there yet, inexorably laughing until the bitter end. I was here at 6:25.
I was the last one here. 6:45, just myself and no one else.
Constables look at Poe.
I live here. I've been here all day. Look, if we're being honest, I don't recall leaving this house in the past month.
Well, it's been cold out.
That'll do it, folks. Don't mind us.
They walk out. Poe follows.
Never be too available. Might as well etch that onto your tombstone.
Before you start harping on my lack of vulnerability, know that I learned that from an enclave of Bosque monks I camped with in the forest of the Peonies.
So you're saying you are available?
To the right owner. Those fellows let the isolation get to them, I think. Had a strange way of invigorating the mind. In order to increase brain activity, they did all of their meditating upside down.
Did it work? Did it make them smarter?
Well,
So once a month we meet to write and dance. Well, not me. I don't like dancing.
Oh, thanks for everything, Ed. Let us know if actually there's one thing I forgot to.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Door opens. Poe and the constables enter to see everyone in some state of upside down. Hemingway does a handstand. Oscar sits upside down in his chair. They all chant, "Oh."
I don't even know. The fighting and dancing, I get, but the upside down meditating, I'm not sure I see what this has to do with writing food metaphors.
We're gonna need to get some real honest answers here. You, come here. I got some questions for you.
Oh, I can't leave this chair.
Okay, well then stay there. We'll come to you.
He walks over to Wild as Jim starts poking around.
Were you at the Vivian Nightingale Memorial Ball last year?
Oh, boy. Sounds like a place I'd be.
Do you know an Eddie Dantes?
Who now?
Constable Jim gets closer to the patch of Dostoevsky's blood.
Eddie Dantes? That's where I remember you from. You were with him at that party.
Definitely not. I wasn't even in the country.
And you were both very drunk.
Charlotte sees Jim a second too late.
No!
What's this here?
Jim dabs a bit on his finger and tastes it. Everyone reacts.
Is that a Malbec?
Yes.
Constable Jim is known around the office as a bit of a wine snob.
Well.
Edgar, why don't you offer our guests some of your delicious wine?
What a fabulous idea, Miss Bronte. Edgar, I'll help you.
Actually, if it's all the same to you, I'd like to have a look around. Mind if we join you?
Sure. Let's just leave this room.
She and Poe guide the constables out.
I've never liked Malbecs.
Interior kitchen. Poe and Annabelle guide the constables in.
And this is where the food metaphors really
Poe and Annabelle see Dickinson's corpse still on the floor.
are over there.
Right this way, gentlemen.
Annabelle pours the constables some wine. Poe drags Dickinson's body around the corner right as Constable Jim turns around.
Where are you going there?
Well, I think I got a really great full-bodied Malbec in my wine cellar. I'll be right back.
Look over here at this wine opener. It's a mustache because Edgar has a mustache.
Laughs nervously, pouring 2 glasses of wine.
Is drinking on the job allowed?
They both burst out laughing. Annabelle smiles, uncomfortable. Poe returns to the cellar.
I couldn't find it. That Hemingway chap must have drank it all at our last conference. He's a drunk. Yeah, but he's really terrible.
Interior attic. Wells ties 2 wires together.
This ought to do it. I want you to have the honor.
He hands Lenore an old-timey monitor.
When I switch on the tordongulator, the camera's infrared triangulation will be triggered, and you will see images of what is happening right on here.
Is it just one filter?
Yes. I don't know. Hold on.
He turns away and gets to work. Lenore distracts herself, trying to take a selfie as smoke starts filling the attic. She notices and turns around.
HG?
Silence.
HG?
Then a cough. Wells appears, slumping over into Lenore's arms.
It's too late.
HG, what is it?
The black smoke. I can't.
Wait, but what's your real name?
It's Herbert George.
Lynn, dead. A real, honest-to-God tear rolls down Lenore's cheek.
That's a terrible name.
Interior rotunda. Poe and Annabelle lead the constables out from the dining room.
And there you have it, gentlemen, our humble abode.
Oh, you two are an item.
Annabelle and Poe look awkwardly at each other.
Yes. Yes, we are. I have no other suitors but Edgar.
Yes, we are quite happy together.
Oh, that's so weird. I would have never thought it just looking at you.
Not much chemistry.
Poe is crestfallen again. He begins to rush them out.
Yes, well, best of luck with...
Help! 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 H.G. Wells is dead!
Lenore has run into the doorway, dragging a dead H.G. Wells by the leg, which we cannot see. She is also holding the monitor as she spots the constables.
Alive. H.G. Wells is here and not dead at all. So I don't know why you would think that. That's so weird. Why'd you bring that up?
My manservant, Lenore, Constables Jim and Jimmy, they were just about to leave.
Oh, I've never met a real ghost before. How do you do?
One more thing, Ed. What's with the dead body?
Wider shot as we see Lenore holding H.G. Wells' dead body. Poe grimaces. Lenore smiles sheepishly and puts down the monitor.
That seems to be H.G. Wells. Ha ha ha! He certainly is drunk. Look, Lenore has to drag around his entirely alive body.
Hemingway, Charlotte Bronte, and Wilde run in.
Who died this time?
Poe hangs his head. Annabelle runs forward.
I can't do this anymore. Constables, someone is killing us off one by one. We are stuck in this mansion and they threatened to kill us if we tried to get help. First, it was my dear Eduardo Dantes. Then Louisa May Alcott.
Then Shelley, Dostoevsky, George Eliot, Agatha Christie.
Fortune teller H.G. Wells.
Was it Mark Twain? Ralph Waldo Emerson?
Emily Dickinson. All murdered. And one of us is the killer.
I have a costume ball to go to next week, and I'd prefer not to die tonight. The theme is Under the Sea. Have you ever heard of a more creative idea?
Edgar brilliantly realized that the authors are being killed off in a manner which befits their writing.
Constables eye each other gravely.
This is quite some information you've been keeping from us.
Even in cases of self-defense, murder is usually punishable by death. You know what I always say? Don't do murder.
Poe proffers his wrists.
Fine, take us all away, officers. I always assumed I'd end up spending my final days in a dark cell with naught but the crow of a raven's call. Nevermore.
On the contrary, we can help. I've been in a situation a lot like this before. I was returning from a vacation in the south of France aboard the maiden voyage of the ship Constance. We found the first mate strung up on the mast one morning, and crew members started going missing. I realized this was the work of a serial killer.
And were you able to stop him?
No! Oh no! No, he murdered the entire crew, and I hid myself in a crate in the brig for a month. My wife was not too pleased with how I smelled when I got off that boat.
The point is, we know what we're doing, okay? We are equipped with the finest weapons in Baltimore.
Constables pull out their guns. Jim drops his, and the ammo falls out of Jimmy's. They scramble to pick them up.
Let's get to work.
Thank goodness.
All right, what's the plan, officers?
First things first, we have some drinks to finish.
Is that really what we should be doing? Oh, okay. You're doing it anyway.
The constables have interlocked arms to drink their wine. Charlotte rolls her eyes and picks up the newspaper.
Idiots all around me. What has my afterlife become?
Constables finish, they drink. Oh, wrong.
Now we can get to work. Funnily enough, one of my first training sessions in Constable Academy was what to do in case a dinner party turns into a mass homicide. Okay, first rule is don't drink anything.
The constables turn to each other, then look to their empty glasses. They both crumple to the ground, dead.
Not gonna say I didn't see that coming.
This is awful. Oh, Edgar.
Annabelle weeps into Edgar's coat. He pats her head awkwardly.
Let's not leave any more bodies hanging about. To the cellar, boys.
Excuse me, we are all going to the cellar. No one's leaving me alone with Corpse Bride and Snow White.
Rotunda. The authors drag their the constable's body into the hall. Charlotte reads a newspaper with Agatha's face on it.
What's all this about Oscar and Eddie at a party?
It was nothing. I totally forgot.
Oh, no, you didn't. You're sharp as a tack.
What was it, Oscar?
Eddie and I met at a party last year, that's all.
That's definitely not all. Okay.
Nothing too scandalous. Though I guess that depends on your definition of scandalous.
Are you saying...
Your boy and I were a thing for a night. I don't know. He rebuffed me at the end of it. Never knew why.
Annabelle deals with this blow.
Well, he was very European.
Hell hath no fury like an Oscar Wilde scorn.
Okay, fine. But why would I kill the others?
I don't know, but perhaps you had help in the form of Ernest Hemingway.
Oh, please.
You were in bed with Eduardo in quite a different way.
Pulls out the IOU.
You owed him money for a sports bet gone wrong.
I thought you were good at the sports.
I am good at the sports.
Oh, yeah? What's your sports record?
My sports record? It's undefeated. Never lost a match, a game, not even a staring contest.
Oh, that's odd. They printed the current American National Boxing League standings, and in this stew, we've one loss.
Paper and everyone gasps.
But how can you have an undefeated sports record and a loss?
Hemingway is caught.
To have my honor called into question by a beautiful lady. Ugh, that confounded match. I confess, I threw the match at Eddie's behest.
A lie, on another lie.
A lie sandwich. Oh, I need to start using these food metaphors.
My pride couldn't take the blow. I refused to give him his dirty money, but I didn't kill him.
You were also unaccounted for during the murders of Agatha Christie and George Eliot.
Let me ask you something, Poe. Let me be quite frank. You held this party. You're the reason we're all here. Perhaps the answer has been under our nose the whole time. Edgar Allan Poe, writer of Gothic prose and cold-blooded killer.
It does make sense. Angry that you were never able to get the girl.
And there is the small matter of the poison you kept upstairs.
Stop. Edgar couldn't do any of this. He's a good man.
Besides, I didn't send the invites. Lenore did. I have no real friends. For once, that sad fact is coming in handy.
You're really putting this on me?
You can phase through things at will. We don't know the extent of your powers.
I am not the killer! Like, what would my motive even be?
Feeling lonely and make some new ghost friends? Well, now that you killed H.G. Wells, you can both haunt this place for all eternity.
Awfully coincidental that the smoke in the attic didn't kill you as well.
That is because I am already dead. I wouldn't kill the one person here I could put up with. Sorry, Annabelle. Plus, like, a ghost on a murderous rampage. Are you guys all listening to yourselves?
Sounds like an Edgar Allan Poe story, am I right? Perhaps you and the Raven fetishists are in it on it together.
I don't need to act things out in order to write. I have what we call an imagination. Ever heard of Hemingway? Oh, no. Do tell me more about the old man and the boat.
Lenore, the most familiar with death, invites us all to our own. Why didn't we think of this before? It makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't. I didn't even make the invite list.
Well, who did?
Hesitates. She looks at Annabelle.
Well, uh, to be honest, like Annabelle is the one who suggested who to invite. That's like.
Yes, because Annabelle is friends with everyone. She is beautiful and kind, with a singing voice like the Malabar whistling thrush.
She's a siren, luring us all here to our deaths.
Annabelle's eyes widen. She is in another world.
Yes, you brought us here. It was your handkerchief in Elcott's mouth. You were gone when Agatha and George were murdered, and you somehow pretend you didn't know all of this information about your boyfriend.
Okay, he wasn't her boyfriend.
Annabelle runs out. The group chaotically races after in different directions. Interior rotunda. Annabelle runs past the monitor, which sparks to life. Close up, Wells's camera. Exterior bridge. Wells's camera POV. On the screen, we see Annabelle run out onto the front lawn of the house. Each still image is replaced by the next, like a very, very slow flip book. The images show Annabelle run into a figure under a tree. She yells and hits the figure until the figure attacks her. Poe races out onto the lawn looking for her. He finds her. Exit well camera POV. Edgar cradles Annabelle in his arms as she dies.
Annabelle, my dear, please keep your eyes open. It will all be okay. Who did this? Who?
It was always you.
She dies. Exterior Annabelle's porch. Day. Flashback. Poe stands in front of the door holding a piece of parchment.
Annabelle, good day. Happy birthday. I have written you a poem. Let me read it now.
The door opens, revealing Annabelle Lee.
Oh, hello, Edgar.
Annabelle, yes, hello. Lovely door you have. I have something for you, for this is your birthday.
How sweet of you to remember. Oh, by the way, this is Eddie. I was telling you about him, remember?
Eddie appears behind Annabelle. He smiles and waves. Poe's face falls.
You said you had something for me?
Well, it's...
He looks down at his paper, nervous. He looks around, picks up a rock, and hands it to Annabelle.
This, a pet rock for you, the beautiful Annabelle Lee.
Annabelle smiles and takes the rock. She puts it in her pocket. Interior rotunda. Present. Poe carries Annabelle's body into the rotunda. Interior study. Poe places Annabelle down on the couch. He drapes a shawl over her body. Something falls out of Annabelle's dress pocket. The rock. After all this time, he picks it up. A scream from the dining room. Poe rushes out. Interior dining room. Charlotte backs up against a wall. Hemingway brandishes a knife. Wilde and Lenore rush in.
Look, his knife is all bloody. He just stormed in here all crazed.
No, it isn't. I dropped it in the damn soup.
Oh, no respect.
Poe enters.
Annabelle is dead.
It was Hemingway. He was going to attack me before you came in.
Oh, you lunatic. You lunatic. What? Are you just trying to kill off people who write in purple prose?
As much as I like to think brevity is the strongest asset of composition, I would never murder anyone. Competition fuels the fighter of the author within.
Ah, so you admit we're competitors.
Annabelle wasn't a writer. I had no reason to kill the woman. The obvious killer is the one who invited us to this godforsaken mansion in the boondocks, Edgar Allan Poe. Confess or be damned.
Whoa, you do not understand how much my roomie loved that ginger. Also, she was like a sister to me.
You can walk through walls if you want. I see no other explanation here. You straight up murdered all these biddies with your magic beans. You were just jealous of the life Annabelle got to have and wanted her and all her friends dead.
Way harsh, Wilde.
You know, now that the shock of Hemingway lunging at me with a soup-stained knife has subsided, I still think it was Annabelle.
What?
Bronte sits and unwraps a fancy chocolate from the table.
She's the one who invited us all here. The girl couldn't handle what she did, what with all the murdering in cold blood, so she killed herself. Maybe you were even in on it, Ernest. I doubt that waif of a girl could have dropped that picture on George Eliot's head. Oh, goodness. That Marianne. I mean, all of us ladies have used male pen names to get published, but that poor girl went over the top. Learn how to tie a cravat if you're going to dress like a man.
Oh, Bronte, coming to a realization.
You had a male pen name.
Sorry, sweetheart. Are you hard of hearing? Yes, I just said that.
Your sisters, too.
Yes, it's ridiculously hard to get published with names like Charlotte, Anne, and Emily. People think you're all fluff and bunnies.
What was your pen name?
Currer Bell. Androgynous, no? I quite liked it. I'd certainly allow a Currer Bell to escort me to the Vivian Nightingale's Memorial Hall, if you know what I mean.
What were your sisters' pen names?
Anne was Acton Bell and Emily was Ellis. I remember she thought the name was so silly, but I insisted it was terribly professional.
Poe grabs the handkerchief that was found with Louisa May Alcott. He shoves the handkerchief into Bronte's face.
Acton Bell. A. Bell. This handkerchief belongs to your family. It's yours.
He throws it at Charlotte. She turns white. Caught.
Guy wasn't saying Annabelle wasn't able. He was saying she wasn't a Belle.
Charlotte stands up, chocolate on her face.
You crazy, contemptuous cow! You killed all of my best acquaintances. Let's call them acquaintances.
What in the actual heck is wrong with you?
I'm going to the police.
Wait!
Why? This woman is an admitted murderer.
She didn't work by herself. There's an accomplice.
How could she have done it alone?
Just what I just said that. This isn't a time for listening.
Oh, you two, stop bickering. You're all as pathetic as the characters you create. But I do thank you for allowing me to live up my dream of creating the perfect gothic novel in real life.
Ew, is that why you did this? Just to live out some literary fantasy? That's wrong.
Oh no, I did it for family.
Smiles at someone in the doorway. Everyone looks. Anne Bronte, 20s, leans against the doorframe, wiping a knife clean.
Gentlemen, ghosts, let me introduce myself. I'm Anne Bronte. So sorry I'm late for dinner. You may remember me from such novels as The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, or from killing some of your friends tonight.
Put up your dukes, woman.
Hemingway charges. Charlotte jumps in front with a gun.
Whoa, you have a gun?
Have you had it this whole time?
Of course. It was a present from my lover, Anton Chekhov.
What? I've been seeing Anton.
Me too, that bastard.
This doesn't add up. We were with Charlotte when Miss Elliot was murdered in the bathroom.
Then who murdered Agatha? Then who murdered Agatha Christie? That happened at the same time.
Poe comes to a realization.
No, it can't.
Oh, it can.
Eddie walks in. Laughing.
Congratulations, Mr. Poe. You figured it out.
Walks around the room, laughing slowly. They're far too long. The Brontes timidly start clapping, but Eddie shoots them an angry look.
You murdered Annabelle Lee.
You're mad.
You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work.
Poe slyly pulls out a notebook and writes this phrase down.
Get to the point.
Mr. Hemingway, you do so value brevity. Would that your life would be may end up longer than your fictions. Fine. Earlier this evening, you had the honor of meeting my brother.
Dostoevsky?
No.
H.G. Wells.
No, not H.G. Wells, my brother was in ghost form. He was a ghost.
So, Dostoevsky?
No! Good God! Guy de Vere, the erstwhile fiance of this Lenore.
Edward? Guy's brother? Oh, you were always away. He missed you so much.
Indeed, I, Eduardo Dantes, am in actuality Edward de Vere IV. By the time I arrived home, Lenore had fallen ill and died. So consumed with grief was my brother that he ended his life. My hatred for Lenore was matched only by my hatred for one other, Krishanti, the psychic who brought Lenore back from in ethereal form, but could not do the same for my brother.
You killed her?
I did. I was quite happy that Mr. Wells pushed for her presence. Poor Lenore. It looked like you two were getting along quite well.
I don't get it. Are you trying to kill the people I care about because you are way overestimating how much I care about people?
No, my dear. I had far greater aspirations tonight. Perhaps you've heard of my late great-grandfather, Edward de Vere, 17th Earl of Oxford.
You mean that Elizabethan hack?
Some fools believe he had a hand in writing Shakespeare.
Or that he was Shakespeare.
Eddie crushes a glass in his hand.
Shakespeare was a liar and a thief, just like every writer.
We're not thieves. You're delusional.
Poe. Edwin Allan Poe.
Edgar.
Earlier, when I was talking about being mad, you wrote that down.
What? I didn't.
You did, and you're going to use it later in another tale of woe.
Ridiculous!
This whole plan is ridiculous. There are countless other ways you could have exacted revenge for some made-up conspiracy.
But what better revenge for my ancestor than to gather a group of the world's most famous authors and murder them like he should have done to William Shakespeare?
Wait, us though. We didn't steal your grandpa's dumb plays.
Oh, I had other reasons. I could eliminate Mary Shelley and take undue credit for writing Frankenstein. Frankenstein, much the same way that Stratfordian twit took credit for my great-grandfather. I could send a message via Mr. Hemingway that my debts are paid. I could dismiss Emily Dickinson and her constant braying about noise pollution. Christ, does that woman ever stop talking? And Mr. Wilde, it would not do for rumors of our drunken dalliance to spread.
You were drunk?
Quite. But I was stone cold sober when I began courting Annabelle Lee, knowing of her connection to Lenore and the power of persuasion she could have over Mr. Poe. I manipulated her into bringing all of these victims here, but I knew I would need help.
Turns to the Brontes.
How did you broads get involved?
It's really quite a simple story. Some time ago, our brother Branwell fell into a relationship with a married woman. That two-bit hussy Jane Austen somehow found out.
Exterior patio, day, flashback. Jane Austen, Charlotte, and Anne sit politely.
Can't sit idly by while your brother has an affair with the Reverend's wife.
Goody two-shoes, Jane Austen. You just can't leave well enough alone.
I'll have to tell the Reverend.
You can't. Our family will be shamed forever.
I must, but I wanted to give your brother a chance to confess first. Oh, and you're both invited to my debut party for Northanger Abbey.
Anne and Charlotte fume. Jane turns to leave. Anne bonks Jane over the head with a candlestick, killing.
Anne, what have you done?
It is a truth universally acknowledged that snitches get stitches.
Off screen, Eddie clears his throat. They look up.
Hello, I'm Eduardo Dantes from the bank. I was here to pass along this foreclosure warning, but it seems you have bigger problems.
Interior dining room, present day.
We murdered Jane Austen with great pride and extreme prejudice. Eddie promised not to foreclose on the Bronte house and cover up the murder if we helped execute his plan tonight.
I'm not particularly keen on killing people, but our house has such a lovely wraparound porch. And also, I don't want to go to jail.
And jail you shall avoid, my dear. After killing Ernest and Oscar here, the three of us will be on our way. And surely, who will believe that Edgar Allan Poe did not commit these sinister crimes himself?
No one would believe that.
No.
Yes, sorry, this house is Murdersville population few.
I believed it was Poe this whole time, even though the actual killer is laying out his plan. Part of me still does.
It'll be especially incriminating when they find all the vials of poison Anne planted in your room.
Oh, sorry, I got some blood on those. I cut myself while delivering a syringe of poison to Miss Alcott.
Interior dining room night. Flashback. Anne Bronte's hand turning out light.
Ah, yes. After arriving late, I faked my own death when Anne turned out the lights.
Interior rotunda night. Flashback. Anne sticks Alcott with a needle as she runs out.
She then waited by the door as Louisa May Alcott, expertly spurred to action by Charlotte, ran out and stuck her with a needle of potassium cyanide.
Interior dining room night. Flashback. Charlotte leaves parchment note on table. Takes Wells's contraption, walks away with it.
As you all checked on the body, Charlotte left the note on the table, took H.G. Wells' contraption, and put it on the other side of the kitchen door. Once again, acting on Charlotte's ever so subtle orders, Mary Shelley ran to the door.
Interior kitchen night. Flashback. Eddie sets off Wells's invention.
With that hallway accessible from the cellar via elevator, it was I who rigged Wells' invention to the door, electrocuting Miss Shelley and paving the way for my own literary celebrity. Then, brilliantly, you all made the decision to split up.
Interior dining room night. Present. Poe shoots Hemingway an angry look.
Seeing as I was with Dostoevsky, it seemed no one would think I'd be stupid enough to kill him. But I did.
Oh, sweetie. I always thought you were stupid.
I awaited Oscar in the bathroom and then accidentally killed George Eliot. They look the same from behind.
We have the Sims trainer. We do a lot of squats.
I knew Agatha Christie would figure out this flimsy caper immediately. So I met her at the front door when she arrived, 10 times, with a knife.
And then that damned psychic. I was worried one of the ghosts might give the whole thing up. What a time I had trying to disrupt that nonsense.
Indeed. When Krishanti summoned my brother, I knew she was starting to get suspicious. She had to go.
And I cleaned up his mess by doing away with that Dickinson chatterbox. Oof.
H.G. Wells was working on something that would have caught us in the act. I ensured he would not finish it.
We hadn't counted on the police showing up. I urged you to get them drinks, which I easily poisoned in that commotion.
And Annabelle, sweet Annabelle. When it dawned on her that I was the one who brought everyone here tonight, when she figured out it wasn't that a number of you who had cause to kill me, but that I had cause to kill you, she reacted poorly, running out to find me. She felt responsible, that she must put a stop to all this. But I put a stop to that.
Poe attacks Eddie. Hemingway follows suit. Charlotte fumbles with her gun, dropping it.
I've never used the gun before.
You just killed a man with an axe.
Eddie runs out of the room, followed by Poe and Hemingway. Anne picks up the gun and struggles with Wilde. Lenore grabs Charlotte by the throat and shakes her. Wilde wrestles the gun from Anne, who knocks him to the ground. Charlotte grabs Hemingway's knife and stabs Lenore. Intercut. Interior study. Hemingway and Poe advance on Eddie. Hemingway leaps for his throat and Eddie bashes him over the head with a vase. Hemingway crumples to the ground. Eddie grabs the axe that killed Dostoevsky and throws it at Poe. Poe catches his arm and wrestles him to the ground. Interior dining room. Lenore struggles on the ground.
There you go.
I prefer sharp objects, no recoil.
Hey, guys.
Bronte's refocus. Reveal Lenore fine.
I'm already dead.
Wilde sneaks up behind the Brontes with a copper wire connected to the microwave and electrocutes them. They fall to the ground in shock, groaning, still alive.
Oh.
In hindsight, it's pretty silly I didn't use this gun.
The microwave dings.
Oh.
Everybody, all together now.
Your popcorn is ready.
It's ready.
Interior study. In the study, Eddie has the axe at Poe's throat. Poe finds Annabelle's rock in his pocket and smashes it over Eddie's head, finally killing him. Terrified, he remembers the constable's warning about murder, even in self-defense. Don't do murder. He looks at Hemingway, knocked out, and sees a broken floorboard in the corner. He panics. No one sees as Poe drags over Eddie's body, leaving a trail of blood. He yanks open the floor. Interior rotunda. Later. Wilde is strewn across a chair dramatically. Lenore is perched on the stairway. Two officers cuff the Brontes.
We would have gotten away with it all if it weren't for that horrible Annabelle Lee.
I blame this whole thing on Jane Austen.
You really should have had some more sense and/or sensibility.
You might be able to convince a judge to go easy on you with a little persuasion.
Oh, this is rock bottom.
The two policemen take the Brontes away. Anne thrashes about. Interior study. Hemingway sits, icing his head, talking to an officer. Poe is also there.
I was knocked out in the scuffle with that Eddie chap. When I came to, Poe said he had escaped.
Poe nervously watches as a constable talks to him.
Mr. Poe, your statement?
You see, Eddie and the Brontes confessed to murdering everyone tonight. Eddie bashed my dear friend Hemingway over the head. I tried to stop him, but he escaped. You'll never find me. I'll flee to another country, he said as he ran away forever. Odd fellow. I'm quite upset that he murdered all of my...
Friends. Friends is the word you're looking for.
The constable looks over to the crooked floorboards.
And that's quite a lot of blood.
Could be anyone's. Any one of my many friends.
Sound of a heartbeat starts pounding through the floorboards. The constable looks back at Poe, suspicious. Poe starts to sweat. The floorboard moves. The end?
That was so fun.
Yay! I laughed. I cried. I screamed.
Thank you all so much. This was so fun.
It was.
The chat loved it. I was following along.
Oh, good. Hi, chat. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you, chat.
It goes to show that we're all extraordinary actors and can do literally anything.
I think that's what we all learned tonight.
We all need jobs.
As long as Tom gets hurt, and I can copy him.
This was so fun. And if by any chance somebody watching has not seen Poe Party, please go watch it. It's
Yeah, give the real thing a try.
Yes, please.
Ryan also is a pig now. Ryan's a pig.
Ryan's been a pig the whole time. You just didn't notice.
Whoa.
No, I liked the halo you did though. That was
Yeah,
good.
everyone really
That was great.
appreciated that.
I was prepping for Constable, but I didn't know it was already cast.
Oh, I get it. Because pigs.
Well done.
Maybe the next one, you know?
Wow.
Wait, this is my favorite comment. Someone says, Chris Higgins ate and left no crumbs.
That is
I-
too
He was
kind.
like an hour before we started.
This was going to be my Jimmy. But Tara Perry, you were far better.
right in the camera.
This was so fun. Thank you all so much. You were all so wonderful. And thank you, Al. You were
Yeah,
killing
Yes,
you.
thank you, Al.
You guys
Mhm.
Oh, Lord.
The role hasn't been cast yet, right?
Oh.
No.
She'll be considering you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
We'll let you know.
Available. Just let me know.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you all so much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, vote. Remember to vote.
Oh, yeah.
Go vote.
Vote. Go vote.
Early voting starts in New York State tomorrow. That's the only one I remember.